Hi, Inspiration 365, Inspiration Daily for October 28th, 2021. This is Gina Greenlee with GinaGreenlee.com. I'm feeling better already. I done psyched myself up. I'm so inspired. I am. It's true. I was writhing around in my bed and I wouldn't say pain, but discomfort. And I was like, girl, you need to get up, and show out. Just like the 16 Andes survivors of the Andes plane crash of 1972. I was a little girl when that happened, and I remember the sensation. Talk about the power. Talk about single narratives. I remember how sensationalized that was, and all people could focus on. The world media was the fact that one of the events that enabled them to stay alive was what they ate up on the mountain, right? But that's it. Everybody focused on that, and nobody wanted to talk to them about what it was like to be from the coast. To be young men they were boys. Some of the youngest ones were 16 years old, from the 16 to 24. They're in beach clothes and they land in the Andes. It's freezing, and they're there for, I don't know, was it 70 days or something like that? 2 months or something, 2.5 months. I wrote about them too because I read the book when it came out, and then they're now in their 60s, and some of them have written books. But here's what inspires me. They didn't sit around waiting to be rescued. They were able to they were able to make a radio work that had been that had been damaged in the crash, because there were some materials in the fuselage that they were able to use to keep themselves alive, to make snow clothing, because again, these were young men from the coast of Uruguay, and they heard that there was a search out for them, and they saw planes come over, but nobody could see them. It was just and then people had it in their mind, well, nobody could survive this, right? That was the story they told. This is what happens when you only tell one. Every story has multiple viewpoints. I mean, right? That's what the Japanese director Rashomon was known for. Kurosawa is the Japanese director, but the story Rashomon, telling it from different viewpoints, right? So there's one story, but there's many different viewpoints. So the story is, well, nobody could survive in this, so we're going to take a look. Oh no, they're dead. So they were left for dead after, I don't know, maybe they went out for the people went out for some searches. They were like, they're dead. And when they heard that, everything changed. It was like we're not going to be rescued. We know this. Yeah. So the blog post that I wrote is hope is not a strategy. Climb. So they were like, well, we can sit here and hope that we're going to be rescued, but now we know we're not going to be rescued. We have officially been left for dead. We heard it on the radio that we pieced together with whatever was lying around from the crash of the fuselage, inside the fuselage. So we could just sit here and die, or we could walk the hell out, and that's what they did. The 16 survivors, 2 of them walked out, and Nando Parado and Roberto Canessa. They walked out of the Andes. Now, this was all beat up and jacked up. One of them had been in a coma, had brain issues, and they walked out of the Andes. They got to a farm. The farmer understood who they were. We came from the sky, and then they got a plane. Because nobody, like, you can't. Everybody heard the story. Well, you can't be alive. Oh yeah, yes we can. And they flew the plane. The remaining 14, and I've read this story so many different times, and so here's what inspires me. This whole idea of I can't, I don't know, I don't want to hear it. I really don't. I want to hear from other people, and I surely don't want to hear it from myself. So when I find myself having a pity party, which is rare, I rarely have pity parties, but when I find myself going, oh, I can't, I'm like, you know what? First of all, don't whine. It's so unattractive. Secondly, hope. People say, oh, I hope so and so. And I say to people, when I worked in the business world, working for Fortune 50 companies for 25 years, and I said, you know what? Hope is not a strategy. We're either going to do this or we're not going to do this. We're going to make a decision like adults do. Hope. We're not toddlers. We're hoping, we're hoping for the fairies to bring us, goodies, sprinkle goodies over us. Yeah? So hope is not a strategy. Climb. Don't be sitting around waiting for somebody to do for you. These men walked out of the Andes, never been in a snow environment, had already survived 2.5 months, left for dead. Inspires the hell out of me.